we're trying to, again, develop an accelerated training program to help for the general workforce, help prepare them for open positions. In my case, catering to the logistics, technology, and material movement industry.
Welcome to Simply Trade, brought to you by Global Training Center. My name is Lalo, and together with my co-host Andy, we have well over 60 years of combined trade, logistics, and supply chain experience. Along the way, we have seen and witnessed different challenges in trade compliance. We decided to put this show together and call on our friends and colleagues in the business to hang out with us and share their knowledge in all things trade. Thank you for spending some time with us. Enjoy the show.
Hey, Lalo, happy Thanksgiving. This is a good time for reflection. Obviously, hopefully you're going to get to spend it with family. And as we all have been striving to try and lose a little bit of weight, do something like that is we'll completely destroy it on this holiday. But hey, that's what you diet for. That's what you're supposed to be getting ready for. And so don't feel guilty about enjoying the fruits of everybody's labor at the table, right?
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So aside from the obligatory, I guess that's obligatory turkey trot. I mean, for some reason, my son is just for everyone else, my son is a triathlete, and so that kid.
Oh, really?
Run
wow.
Day and night. Yeah. So not a Ironman type thing, but in college he competed with his school, and he still does now that he's graduated. But I mean, the kid can run and bike and swim like crazy. But anyway, so he always visits and hey Dad, we're doing a turkey trot. And my daughter too. My daughter's a soccer player and ran cross country and did all that running
wonderful.
and everything. And she even coaches soccer now. But anyway, same thing. Hey Dad, we're doing a turkey trot. So anyway, so
my goodness.
Aside from that, yeah, it's just family catch up, I guess, so but I'm glad we're able to do a show for today for Thanksgiving. We're I guess turning it down a little on the guests. Being Thanksgiving, I like your idea on catching up on us. I guess it's more than anything.
Yes.
So Andy, people sometimes ask me, hey, so what's your background? They're listening to us, right? And they're like,
right.
Okay, so obviously we had a guest not too long ago that said, it's obvious you guys know what the hell you're talking about. Or sorry, I shouldn't maybe not said that word, but it's obvious that you guys know what the heck you're talking about. Some people may know us. I mean, a lot of people do. When we're in our, what do they call it? Our bubble, right? Our social bubble. And ICPA, people obviously know us, or at any other conference, NCBFA or whatnot. But we do get listeners who are not necessarily in that bubble with us. It's like they probably may be wondering who's Lalo and who's Andy. But I like your idea. Let's try to catch up on Andy today. So today's the Andy show, and get a little bit of background and stuff on what we're doing.
Well, I will say thanks, Lalo, on that one. It's, there's been questions a lot of times. Yeah, what is your background, or what have you been doing? Especially people that we've known. You and I both know a lot of people in the industry. Import, export, logistics, transportation, system development, just general business. I've had a career in doing a lot of consulting as well after I left FedEx in operations and different things. So it's, our network has been phenomenal. And again, I think, I'll say this, you and I both, to our listeners, man, are we thankful for y'all.
Right.
We really are, our show is trending up. It's good. And it's all because of y'all and spreading the word. I really, really appreciate that. So saying that, as far as what am I doing nowadays, I haven't even updated my LinkedIn. I haven't let a whole lot of folks know, I guess, publicly. But I am back in Memphis now, and I am leading an effort in the logistics technology sector in the Memphis and Mid-South area. And what we're trying to do is help prepare the workforce for open positions. There's a lot of folks in the area that when they apply for something, they're deficient of some skills or knowledge, so they're not qualified for some of these positions. There's a phenomenal economic growth in the Memphis area. And actually, one of the biggest things is Ford has announced that they are putting a big factory here to build the F-150 Lightning pickup.
Right, the
That's
electric.
the all electric.
Right,
Yeah.
the EV. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So with that, it's also there's going to be a lot of subsequent businesses. If you're not working directly for Ford, there's a lot of subsequent businesses that will be employing more people. And the existing businesses in the area are also, everybody's struggling to try and find good qualified people. So there is a grant that was issued. It's called Opportunity Now. It used to be called Good Jobs. They changed the name to Opportunity Now. It is a federally funded grant over 21, I believe it's 21.5 million. And it is specifically, it's like a three-legged stool. There is construction, there's manufacturing, and there's logistics technology. I'm coordinating the logistics technology. I have two counterparts that are handling the manufacturing and the construction piece. What we're doing in this is, as overall, it is being, if you will, controlled by a company called Workforce Mid-South. It is a nonprofit type company that was formed specifically to help align with the local governments and all of that. But here's the point. They filed for an application for for a grant, and of thousands or hundreds of applications out there, there was only a handful that were approved. And the Workforce Mid-South one was approved. And what we are looking at is a 44 county area: East Arkansas, North Mississippi, and West Tennessee, from Jackson, Tennessee, all the way to the river, and every north and south there of the Tennessee borders. Now, that said, here's what we're doing. We're trying to, again, develop an accelerated training program to help for the general workforce, help prepare them for open positions. In my case, catering to the logistics, technology, and material movement industry. So that's a lot of stuff, Lalo, that I know that I'm throwing out there. But here's the thing. What we're striving to do is help people better their lives, to stabilize. Single parent family, a lot of single mothers and all that. Right. There's going to be opportunities there for them to receive some training in certain areas. In my case, I've got, the logistics technology is a big umbrella. So we have what we call 5 subsectors. In that, we've created, there's an international piece, there is a warehouse and distribution piece, there's transportation, there is the software development and programming for systems in the logistics arena. And then there is what's called mechatronics, PLC, and robotics. So that's pretty fancy. And it's not just entry-level positions. There are people in positions now that may be interested in moving up. And so you can see they're going to be higher paying jobs. So saying all that, let me tell you this. I am just elated with what we're going to be doing here, the impact on this. There's a lot of hard work. This is not just going to be talk, and nothing happens. So back to Workforce. They are, in this application, had filed to establish at least 3 physical training centers in the Mid-South area. I know one for sure is going to be in Memphis, maybe 2 in Memphis, just because of the geographics here and the population. But, and in this, these will be 4 to 24 week type courses that somebody can come in, and depending, again, construction, manufacturing, or logistics areas, we'll have a curriculum built and all that. So we're in the process of identifying the needs. We're about finished with phase 1, which will be ending around December, January timeframe, maybe February. And then we're going to spend 6 months developing the curriculum for that training. Employers, there's several hundred employers that have already said, you put people through a program like this, we guarantee we will hire people. So there's jobs waiting for you. Go
Right.
ahead.
And are we talking about, I guess, anything from layman all the way up to, like you said, like technology, like techies, like people, I mean, everything
Exactly.
from the warehouse forklift driver, even. I mean, like,
Yes.
is that
Yep.
what you're talking? Okay, down from there all
Yes.
the way up to, okay, cool.
Yes. So let's take it this way: is that especially if there are people that are, let's say, currently working in a warehouse or a distribution function, but they seem to have a good aptitude for systems and making the systems work well, and the workstations and the computer systems and and things of that nature. Well, there will be courses that will help teach them in what's called mechatronics. Now, mechatronics was a new term for me. I was actually I was calling it megatronics, and there's
Yeah.
a difference of megatronics versus mecha.
It's
MECH.
not the
Mechatronics.
Transformers, right?
Yeah, no. So, but mechatronics is, all right, I want you to envision, let's just take, for example, an Amazon type warehouse, or a Walmart warehouse, or somebody's big, huge warehouse where you've got like that is supporting e-commerce. In those warehouses, you're going to have a lot of automation that's put in there, sort system belts that will
Right.
go through and is running, even like, for example, FedEx. Obviously I have a FedEx background, UPS, DHL. A lot of the carriers will have sort systems where packages are going through. That conveyor belt that goes in, it doesn't just happen. I mean, it's just like it's tied into a network and a design of a system. So as a package goes down the belt or something, then there's what's called a diverter that may come out and say, okay,
Right.
this box is going to go down, and it'll hit go down a slide to go down to a perpendicular type belt or something, and all that. So all of that, so that package goes from wherever it started from through the sort system down to its destination to say, okay, this is now going to be packaged up and sent out the door. All that networking, the computer systems, the optics, the like optical equipment, the diverters, the physical things, the electric motors, all of the hydraulics, all of that falls under the realm of mechatronics. And I will say right now, I apologize to anybody that's in that mechatronics industry. I'm probably not doing you a service here, but I can tell you it's complex, but it is phenomenal. It's fascinating. Guess what? You don't need a college degree for all that. There are
Right.
some things that you can get to become a mechatronics technician. And that's what we're looking at. We're not going to solve world hunger here. What we're going to do is help people better themselves out of where they're at today into the next step up. And the mechatronics is one. If you've got a mechanical inkling in there, this would maybe a great thing. So you get the mechatronics going. And then there's what's called PLC, programming logic control. Well, okay, what is that? Think of it as a dispatcher office for all that sort system I was just telling you about. You got a control room, and you got somebody that's in there monitoring computer screens and monitoring. There are measuring equipment or monitoring equipment that's going, all right, do we have a jam in this area? Do we have something failing here? Is the electrical motors overheating? Whatever. All of that is working. And as they're controlling that, you have to be a mechatronics technician for a while. So you learn that, then you actually have experience. Well, guess what? Now you could move into that PLC so you can see how all of this is controlled
Right.
and monitoring it. And so if something goes wrong, you got to know what's going on in it. You can fix it from the control room, or do you dispatch somebody for repairs? So you see where we're going on that.
Yes.
The training in all of that is what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
So we have right now, that's just one thing. We're the transportation. We're working at to increase the number of people for getting a commercial driver's license or a CDL, and it'll be both either a CDLA or CDLB, which is there's some differences there.
Mm-hmm.
We
And so
have
you'll partner with
mhm.
like trucking schools in the area, or you guys are going to develop that yourselves, or?
Good question. I will say that personally, I think that we need to maybe outsource some of that because there's people that
Mhm.
already have the equipment, the trucks and the schools and
Right.
stuff. However, saying that, let me just say this. I'm going to let we're following a methodology here. One is what are the specific needs that we need for specific jobs, and we're zeroing in on that. There's credentials already that people are looking for, so we can take the curriculum from that credential. And so the second phase is
Yes.
what is the curriculum we're going to offer? And at that point, part of that will be not only, all right, we need to teach somebody, for example, how to drive a truck. The question now is, now we move into the phase, how are we going to do that? Are we going to take it in house and put it
Right.
in that training center? Are we going to outsource that or into their facility, or we're going to outsource it to where they'll come into this new facility and they teach it from there? So I can't answer exactly how,
Mm-hmm.
but we definitely will be partnering with some people
Right.
and developing some of it ourselves and all of that. This is not like trying to go for glory and who's got the best training system. It's going to, the ultimate is we want to impact people's lives so they can better their situation, have a stable income that's coming in because of these open jobs, fulfill a need within the employer so that they can provide the services that they need, and thus have an extremely positive impact to the local GDP. So it's
Right.
like I'm listen, I got to tell you what, I start getting into this and I start, I'm excited with it. You've heard me say this term probably, but
Yeah.
I when I get so excited with it and I'm passionate about it, as I would say, I get giddy as a filly on the spring morning. Man, I mean,
Right.
if you get out there, you jump around like, come on, guys, we can do this. And I've
Right.
just got to get through some of the processes.
Right. So you said, I guess before us, just so we can let everybody get to their Thanksgiving dinner or lunch or
Oh yeah.
whatever they're going to do, just so we can wrap this here pretty soon. But you said it's a federally funded program. Does this happen to
Yeah.
be part of that transportation bill that Biden passed, or the CHIPS Act? I guess they did. There's
The
two
CHIPS
or
Acts,
three.
yeah,
Okay, so CHIPS Act. So it's
the
part of
CHIPS Act,
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
And
there's
it,
an
and
effort.
well, there's an effort here to try and get people back to work, and more specifically,
Right.
trying to get folks that are again helping them better. There is funding for the fees for if you want to call it tuition.
Hmm.
We're going to be working with the American Job Centers, who will act as more of the frontline vetting of this, and people will be able to come in and see where they're at. We can look at it and help give them some counseling. There's going to be the need for some life coaches. What are you doing? What's going on? Do we need to help them get up and running on some of the welfare programs that are out there? This isn't just a handout, folks. Don't get me wrong. What we're trying to do is better people's lives, but some people don't know how to work through the bureaucracy to get them through this. There's going to be childcare in these centers. There's going to be transportation from at least MATA, which is the Memphis Area Transit Authority, has committed to not only providing bus passes for folks through this, so they can get there. Transportation is a big deal. Childcare is another one. And but MATA was also make sure that there are routes that for their buses and whatnot there. In addition to that, there's opportunities. There are employers that are just begging for this. I'm telling you, if somebody wants to better their life, I don't care their situation, there's opportunity here. for
Mm-hmm.
them to help themselves, help their family, help the community.
Great, great. Yeah, that sounds like a great opportunity. I mean, I like
Mhm.
the fact that, like you said, I mean, it's from all levels. From
Yeah.
the forklift driver all the way up to these techie people.
Yep.
That's amazing. And you're just talking about the logistics part. I mean, you said there's a couple
Yes.
other areas, and I'm sure they have their perks as well. Things within the manufacturing and the construction that are certainly
Oh,
going to pay off. Yeah, I mean, gosh,
it's going to be phenomenal, and it's one of these things that keep in mind. Um, the each of us have a sector council, as we call it. So it's people
mm-hmm.
that are employed by different companies, and they're coming together. And
Right,
keep in mind, some of these companies are in competition with each other, but on this particular thing,
mm-hmm.
these are not competitors. These are people from the Mid-South that are looking and committed to making a difference. So let me just say this. It's like, when is this all happening? Like I said, phase one, it's a 3-phase deal. Phase one is coming to an end at the end of the year to possibly in January. Phase two, we develop the curriculum, figure out how we're going to do this, who's going to do it, where it's going to be, how it's going to be funded, all those kinds of things. And then the third phase will be implementation. Now, here's something that's really important. There are thousands of high school kids in the Mid-South area. Memphis and Shelby County are one of the largest areas. And then when I say Shelby County, I'm not just saying Shelby County schools. There's also in our area, we have Bartlett, Germantown, Arlington, just Collierville, just all kinds of school systems around in subsequent towns. The whole Shelby County in that area. We have in West Tennessee several school systems, North Mississippi, East Arkansas. And the thing is, not everybody really wants to go to college. Not everybody may
Right.
be able to afford it. This is going to be an area where, guess what? This is a great stepping stone to a bigger career, but you got to get in there. And we're talking about people coming out of high school, stepping into jobs of, 18, $20 an hour, as well as moving on up the chain. So you can see where I'm talking. If
Right,
people want to
right,
change their careers or stuck in something they want to do, this is going to be a way that we're going to be able to help them. So
right, right.
I'm
Well,
excited, and that starts July. We'll do the implementation July of 2023. So just really a few months down the road
it's
here.
coming down. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, next
Yeah,
thing you know. So
yeah.
cool. Well, it was nice catching up, Andy. I mean, I don't
All
know
right.
any last words, I guess, before we wrap up and let everybody go enjoy their pumpkin pie or something.
Well, if anybody's interested, you can reach out to us. I'll make sure
Right.
that we have a link to the appropriate websites here and my contact information if you want. This is not something where I'm trying to promote me as anything. I'm coordinating an effort, but there are some things I need some more employers to help out. I don't care if it's construction, manufacturing, or logistics. I'll get you to the right parties in whatever you're interested in, or if you're just interested in what's going on. But I can assure you, Lalo, this is one of those that I'm thankful for having an opportunity to make an impact in this area. I'm also looking forward to us, as I've stepped into this, we may be looking at doing some more shows on other workforce development efforts around the country.
Well, I think
And
yeah.
obviously, I'm sensitive to the logistics end just because that's what you and I are dealing
Right.
with so much. But man, I tell you what, all of this is one leads to another, and we win or lose as a team in these areas. And so this is not where one area excels and the others fall behind. We got to help out one way or the other. So I'm so thankful again for you. You have been a phenomenal, not only co-host, but producer, buddy. I tell you what, our show would not survive without the hard work that you have done. And
Oh,
so
thank
I
you.
am so humbled that you've even asked me to join you on this. This
Oh,
has been great, my
well,
friend.
you and I have been talking about this for a while, so this is great. Well, I'm glad we got to catch up. I mean, I know people ask, well, Andy, what are you doing now? Because I mean, you do go under the radar on some top secret work that you do.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
sometimes
There's been some contracts I couldn't
yeah,
I couldn't talk about it. Like, oh no,
exactly. So we're just like, hey, where's Andy? Is he still around? So I'm glad. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
glad now you're in the public sector, which everybody
Yeah.
will definitely find out. And well, everyone, thank you all for listening in. We wanted to kind of just tone it down a little here and do some catch up. We'll do an episode on me here one day to find out where I came from. But
I got to tell you what, I got to tell you what, I'm looking forward to interviewing you on your global training center, what you and Elsa have put together, and what you not only put together, what your company's been great. So folks, I'm going to tell you seriously, they've got a great story to tell, and I'm looking forward to that. But for now, I guess we need to let everybody, better get in line because the food is being served, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's go catch some football and some food. So thank you, Andy. You enjoy your time with your family, and we'll be back next week with another episode with someone else on the show.
All right. Sounds great, folks. Thank you, and God bless from Simply Trade. Bye.
Yes, thank you. Have a good one. Thank you very much for joining us. Simply Trade is brought to you by the generous contributions of Global Training Center. You can follow the show and GTC on LinkedIn or Twitter and other social networks. Make sure you check out the show notes in the description for a full rundown of today's show with all the important links. Also, make sure that you share this with a friend and subscribe on your favorite streaming platform. We really like hearing from you. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to rate and review wherever you listen to this podcast. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the show or would like to sponsor Simply Trade or suggest any topic you would like for us to discuss, please contact us via email at simplytrade@globaltrainingcenter.com, or you can DM us on Twitter at simplytradepod. Thank you again for the privilege of your time. Happy trading. Simply Trade is not a law firm or an advisor. The topics and discussions conducted by Simply Trade hosts and guests should not be considered and is not intended to substitute legal advice. All liability with respect to actions taken or not taken based on the contents of this podcast are hereby expressly disclaimed.